Wow. What's up, guys? Welcome to a windy, cloudless sunset episode. I said, hey, let's go out for a sunset. No clouds. It's okay. It's going to be a Sunstar episode. What are we doing? I think today we want to finally talk about this guy. So, tripod. I got a new travel tripod here, and I've been using it for a while. Actually, I've had it for like probably a few months, and I just haven't got around to wanting to make a video about it yet. So, but we're here, we're ready. We're just, oh, that's not good. I need some water. Just gotta stay hydrated in the desert. I mean, theoretically, you gotta stay hydrated anywhere. This water just doesn't last as long out here. Okay, that's better. All right, so we have just under an hour before sunset, and maybe a little less than that because, so we're in the City of Rocks right now, and I want a Sunstar shot, which is gonna be wide, and I want the Sunstar to be complementing these rocks and all that stuff. So we're gonna have to go find a composition. So let's get going, and then I'll talk to you some more about my composition and my tripod and whatever else we're going for in case we see some wildlife, which I really hope we do. Okay. Oh, look at this. Isn't this adorable? This is like, I've had this for a while too, but I haven't made a video on it yet. Not sponsored. None of this is sponsored, by the way, by anybody. This is my little Peak Design travel bag that I've been using, and it's not my Shimoda, but I do like it a lot. And I figured, since we're doing a travel tripod, whoa, that is, all right, so we've got our travel tripod in our travel bag, nice and light. We've got lots of water, and we've got my clippy thing, and we don't have a clip. All right, well, we're gonna go put a clip on, and then we'll find somewhere good to shoot, if I can find an Allen wrench. Look, oh my God, okay, this is ridiculous. Peter McKinnon would be horrified if he ever wants to play what's in your pockets with my stuff. Oh, there it is. It's Cook's Peak. So we got two options. One is Cook's Peak, so the sun is behind us, and that's gonna light up real pretty-like with the nice alpine glow. And then two is we've got the Sunstar, which will be behind me, and you'll have to trust me, but there's a lot of rocks and all that stuff back here. So I think I want to, as much as I want to keep chasing the rock wrens, like this adorable little guy that I just shot in the face a second ago, I'm gonna go ahead and switch lenses. Okay, so 35 is on. Let me walk around and see if I can nail down it. Did you hear that? Wildlife mode is like fully engaged. I mean, see if I can nail down a composition, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we're all situated. I'm hearing a lot of coyotes. So this is one other thing that we like to use a tripod for, is that we're going to focus stack so that I'm going to get a shot of this rock in the foreground and then a shot of the background and blend them together. I'm at f16. I'm going to do ISO 100. I'm also going to have to exposure bracket a little bit, so I need to bump this up a little so that we can get this foreground exposed. So I'm at 1/6 of a second, and that's showing me I'm one stop over, and that's okay. So I'm going to focus once on this very foreground, overexposed, once on the midground, same exposure, and then once on the background, and then that's where we're going to stop it down to get that sky. We stopped it down to 1/30 of a second. When you're doing sun stars like this, the sun is moving, so you got to do brackets of shots. So what I do for that is I'm just going to stick my hand in front. That way I know to break up the blendy bits. Okay, well, I think that's good. So we're about to get some alpenglow. Let's go check on that, and maybe I'll switch lenses and we'll have a little more time. I think, you know what? I'm gonna put the, maybe the 70-200 on, and we'll do a little time lapse with this of the sun, of the alpenglow changing. Let's go set that up. Oh, this light is getting nice. All right, so we got the time lapse going. And take a second, talk about the tripod real quick. Like I said before, this is not sponsored. Also, this isn't like a full review, but there are some things that are interesting about this tripod that I felt like maybe we should talk about. So for one, when I first saw it, it's quite obvious that it was very inspired by Peak Design, and a lot of people would go so far as to say that they ripped Peak Design off completely. And maybe I thought that too at first when I saw it, but having looked at it a little more and used it a little more, I don't have the Peak Design tripod. I never wanted it, for one, because it's way too expensive. Like, that is just, you should never pay that much money for that tripod. And for two, that specific tripod has a lot of problems, and I don't want to turn this into a comparison because there's probably plenty of those videos out there between this and Peak Design. But what I will say is that, you know, there's a lot of things that I didn't like about the Peak Design that I think they have fixed, and there's also mosquitoes, so, you know, there will be swatting. But the ball head on this one is actually usable. They made it to where you can rotate the pan and tilt bit, and then you can actually rotate this and get any position you need to, and it's still sturdy, and you don't have to take anything off or unlock or remove or any of that weird stuff. So that was the biggest failing for that Peak Design tripod that I think this one nailed, is their ball head is way better. And they don't have turny bits. They have a little lock latchy bit like this. This little latch flips up there, and then you move that. So I think the design is pretty smart. I'm also glad that it's really light, and the legs are sturdy enough, because you can tell like it's a decent height. And then when the extension goes all the way up, I mean, I'm 6'1", so it's nice having a travel tripod that can not be like, you know, way down here like some of the other ones. It's also really nice that it can handle a good bit of weight. This is my 70-200. It's I've got it zoomed out so the barrel's extended, and it's an R5, so, you know, a moderately sized camera, and it's handling it really well. So I'm very happy with that personally, because, you know, I'm doing time lapses, so I don't want things shaking around, and then when I'm doing astro, I don't want things shaking around and being flimsy. So, so far I've been really happy with that. So we're gonna let that finish, and then I think we'll do a couple of other setups for either Blue Hour. I think we might can squeeze one more image out of this. We've got a really nice belt of Venus going on, which is the pink and the blue around the horizon of the east side of Earth there. But then we'll get set up for some Milky Way, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're back in the studio. It's the next day. I just finished editing some of the images, and I did do some astro stuff, but I didn't finish it out there because I actually forgot my my Lume Cube lights, my panels that I use for lighting things up. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up in here. I'm not crazy about the images, all the images yesterday, but you know, it was absolutely gorgeous outside. Like the whole evening was amazing, and there was an owl that was following us around, and I mean, it was just, it was gorgeous. So the images were definitely secondary to just being out in a great evening. But like I said before, I don't want to do a whole review. I just kind of want to hit on some of the highlights of like maybe how I'm going to be using the tripod or who's it for, that thing. There's a little bit of psychology, I think, going on with this tripod, and that is that, you know, we all know the similarities that it has from being inspired by the Peak Design tripod and all that, and we all know how much the Peak Design tripod costs, and it's like absurd that it's like $600 plus. You know, so the psychology there is like, oh, look at this tripod, it's like half the price or close to it. You know, it's under $400. It's way cheaper than this $600 and something tripod. And automatically from that psychological standpoint, you're like, ooh, that sounds great, you know, but is it great in like the big picture of things? You know, it depends on what you need, because there is a lot of tripods, really great stuff out there that you can get in that ballpark for 400, or you know, between $350 and $400. There's a lot of competition for tripods. Now, is there anything out there that is as light and compact and sturdy and as this thing, for the price range? I don't know. You know, I'm not a tripod expert. I don't know everything that's out there, but I would probably lean towards, there's not a lot that comes in at this light, this sturdy, and this compact. I think that's what's going to be the deciding factors on if it's worth it or not. If you travel a lot or you just don't like anything bulky and you don't use a tripod that much, and size and weight and compactness and all of that are really important to you, then I think, yeah, you're getting into the territory of this is worth, you know, 370 or whatever, you know, around $400. I think that might be worth it. I can say that I do use mine a lot, and I do take it with me a lot, simply because it is really light. And there's a lot of times where I'm traveling or something that maybe I wouldn't want to take one of my bigger tripods, and I would have left one of my other, like my Benro or Mi Photo travel tripod that I've been using, that has fit this category for me for a while. There's a lot of times when I don't want to deal with those ones, because they're not strong enough to deal with my cameras that I have, and they're not tall enough, and they're a little flimsier, and they'll get the job done for certain things, you know, but that's where this comes in for me. I'm going to take this when I would take those, and I'm going to take it as a secondary tripod, or if Camera Lady needs it, she'll take it. She's been using this one too, and she's had mostly positive things to say about it. The head, I think, took her a little to get used to because of this, you know, the latchy bit there. But, you know, the cool thing is you have to raise this up a little bit. So you have to get it out there just a bit if you want to rotate the camera so where it's to the side, you know. So that drops the strength or the sturdiness just a little bit. But you know, it's not bad. I haven't had any issues with it. These locks have been pretty strong. I've had zero slippage. I've had zero issues with the head moving or rotating, even with like the R5, 16 to 35, 70 to 200. Those are kind of like my main go-to lenses for tripod work. You know, if I'm doing long exposures, I'm probably using something like that. And I've had zero issues with any slippage or anything like that, where with the little ball heads that come with, you know, my Mi Photo backpacker or the Benro or whatever, like those aren't as sturdy as this. And of course you can put bigger ball heads on those, you know, but again, then you're getting out of the compactness and the travel ability and all that stuff. So I think, you know, this does a really great job adding that pan tilt, you know, like I showed, where you can move this around and you just tighten this guy right here. I think that's a really great thing that makes this head even better. And just the way that these, you know, just the way that everything folds down. And I mean, I can get my hand just about around there you go. I can get my hand completely around this. So it is really compact. I haven't had it. I've had it a couple months now, you know, but I don't know how these are going to hold up over time. So we'll see, but they are smooth and they do have a lot of resistance and they lock quite well. So overall, I've been really happy with it. It's held up to my desert bashings and crashings over the past couple of months, and we'll see how it does if and when I ever get to see water again. Like, you know, the ocean or whatever. So I think that's about it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys have any questions about this guy, I'll have a link for it down below. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of insight, and maybe that'll help you make a decision on whether or not this thing will work for you. It's doing pretty good for me so far, and I'm pretty stoked to have it. All right, I gotta finish editing this video because it's supposed to go up tomorrow, and I'm on my 4th cup of tea. So if you have any questions, like I said, leave them in the comments down below and I will definitely answer them. If you stuck around this far, then I super appreciate it. Hit that like button for me. And oh yeah, if you do want to support the channel and you're looking for some new photo editing inspirations, it's fall. And even though it's not fall, even when it's not fall, my fall presets I have, I use them all the time. I made them for me, and you guys really seem to be loving them. They do a great job with fall photos, and they do a great job with not fall photos. So yeah, preset packs are down below if you want to throw a little extra love to the channel. I really appreciate that. And that's it now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.